All right, let's see what happens.
All right. Welcome to People's Church. My name is Emily Hazelton, and I am a worship associate here at People's. Deborah Maynard-Booth will be leading today's service. We've got Kathleen Gravity on our tech support, and our music this morning is being provided by Mike Moss and Carlos Harris. The search team has finished developing its congregational survey. This important tool will take you 12 minutes or less to complete. Expect to see it in your inbox this Tuesday or Wednesday. For those of you who go to email, your paper copy will arrive by the end of the week. No matter how you get your survey, please take those 12 minutes right away. The team can't find the right minister for Peoples until they know what you think that right minister is. They ask that you have your survey completed and sent back by Friday, October 8th, and they thank you in advance for your quick response. In the words of Richard S. Gilbert, we bid you welcome. We bid you welcome who come with weary spirit seeking rest, who come with troubles that are too much with you, who come hurt and afraid. We bid you welcome who come with hope in your heart, who come with anticipation in your step, who come proud and joyous. We bid you welcome who are seekers of a new faith, who come to probe and explore, who come to learn. We bid you welcome who enter this hall as a homecoming, who have found here room for your spirit, who find in this people a family. Whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are on your journey, we bid you welcome. So let our worship begin with a song from Mike and Carlos.
Now love is a gentle grows old and waxes cold, fades away like the morning dew. I cannot cross over. Neither have I the wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry me to old shallow. My love and I shall roll. My love and I.
Making sure we're good. This morning, we will be talking about polyamory, which can be confusing for some people, and it might seem like a very adult topic and an adult service that might not be for kids. But let me explain a few things. What I wanted to clear up is that Unitarian Universalists believe that love is love. We are welcoming to the LGBTQ plus community. Therefore, it only stands to reason that we learn about a group of people that are all about loving one another and being in right relations with one another. To do this, let us step outside of the mundane world into a sacred space of love and understanding, a space where we can be open to acceptance. So let us take a moment to create this sacred space. I invite you to close your eyes wherever you are right now. In your mind's eye, see a white light surrounding you. Let it encircle you like a bubble. Imagine it surrounding you with light and with love. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Open your eyes. Know that you are surrounded by the energy of the divine that is within you and part of you. It is your sacred space, your spiritual bubble that is separate from the everyday world, that no matter where you are located, you may always create. In many cultures, it is believed that the human soul shares characteristics with all things divine. It is this belief which assigns virtues to the four cardinal directions: north, east, south, and west. It is according to this belief that we align ourselves with these elements and call to them through our Unitarian Universalist principles to join with us in this sacred space. We look first to the east, to the element of air, for openness and breath, communication of the heart, and purity of the mind and body. With each breath we breathe life, there is an opportunity for growth. We believe in the acceptance of one another and the encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. Element of air, hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We look now to the south and the element of fire for energy, passion, and creativity. From the fire that sparks our thoughts, there is an opportunity to create something new. We believe in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Element of fire, hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We turn now to the west and the element of water for emotion, cleansing, and purification. From the water that flows through our bodies, there is healing and empathy. We believe in justice, equity, and compassion in human relationships. Element of water, hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Look next to the north and the element of earth for grounding, fertility, and security. From the earth and salt in our bones, there is stability and strength. We believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Element of earth, hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
As the four elements combine within us, the fifth element of spirit is created. I call to spirit that which connects all things to the divine universe. Be here with us, Mother Earth and Father Sky, sun and moon and our sibling stars. We have respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. Element of spirit, hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
In this sacred space and in this hour, may we find our balance as a community through our Unitarian Universalist principles and with love and understanding. So mote it be. Let us start by singing together hymn number 95, There is More Love Somewhere.
There is more love. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is
As Deborah lights the chalice this morning as a sign of our faith tradition, let us say these words together. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together. Blessed be. Please read responsively with me the affirmation of this congregation. As we speak this affirmation, let us remember why we're here. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Those are hot. Good morning, everyone. For this morning's story for all ages, I brought a treasure chest. So in this treasure chest, we have a treasure from the sea. And from the sea, we find seashells. And each one of the seashells that we find is different. Each one has a different texture. It has a different color, different size, a different shape. There's so many of them. And they all come from the sea. And each one used to have a different creature living inside of it. So each one of these shells is a little house that had a sea creature. And just like all of the different shells, each one of those creatures is different. And each one of the shells is unique. Each one has its own unique properties. And just like sea creatures, humans have different houses too. Each house looks different. We have wood houses, we have brick houses, we have different sizes and shapes, we have different colors. We have white houses, we have blue houses. I myself have a yellow house. I want it to be purple, but I can't change it yet. So all of our different houses are different, and not just the houses are different, but all of the people inside are different. All of our families are different. We have families that have just a mom and a daughter. We have families that are a mom and a dad and a son. Or we have families that have a mom, a dad, a son, and a daughter. There are even some that have a grandmother and a grandfather and a daughter. And then there are houses that have a mom and a dad and another mom and a daughter, or two dads and a son. There's all kinds of families, and they're all different and they're all unique. And what we learn is that just because we're different doesn't mean that any one family is better than the other. Just like in this chest, no one seashell is better than the other. So when you are going to school or to work or going to a sports event or a theater event, and you meet other people and you learn about their families are probably going to be slightly different than yours. And it's okay, because every family is different and every family is special. So always remember, when you see another family and you see another home, think of the seashells and how individual things don't mean different and bad, but different and equal. Thank you.
Our first reading is Questions to Brace Yourself. It comes from the article, Questions to Brace Yourself for When You Explain Polyamory to Your Family by Ginny Brown from the website everydayfeminism.com. Here are some things that often come up when families are first learning about polyamory. Thinking through how you'd respond to each of these may help you prepare for the conversation. 1. Aren't you being exploited? Aren't you exploiting your partner? People often assume that a polyamorous person is taking advantage of their partners, using it as an excuse to sleep around or avoid commitment. Thanks to binary gender stereotypes, women and people who don't currently have more than one partner tend to hear, "Why are you letting your partner do that? You're being exploited." Men and people who currently have multiple partners more often hear, aren't you taking advantage of your partners? Why can't you commit to anyone? It would be nice if people would take, nope, we're all happy, thanks, for an answer. But often they need more convincing than that. Ultimately, though, time may work better than arguments here. 2, isn't this immoral and wrong? Some people have a knee-jerk reaction to polyamory as wrong because it violates what they've always thought of as a core ethics of relationships, that you are intimately faithful to your partner. It can help to talk about the different ethics that are important in your relationships. What does it mean to you to be responsible and caring toward your partners? They may not get it at first, but hearing that you have some sense of ethics and responsibility and watching you live them out over time counters the narrative that sexual exclusivity is the only way to be a good partner. Is this just about sex and perversion? You're probably already aware that many people hear polyamory and think the O word, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We have to tell people over and over, it's not all about the sex. Unless your family is unusually open with one another about each other's sex lives, though, this is one you can shut down with, Mom, our sex life is private, and I'm sure you really don't want to know about it. When will you grow out of it? Every queer person's favorite phrase. As with many identities and choices that don't follow the path your family expected of you, they often comfort themselves and dismiss you by asserting that it's just a phase. You'll grow out of it is infuriating because it takes a deeply personal thing you've revealed to them and turns it into just another sign of immaturity. It's also not something you can actually argue against. Families often don't realize how their attempt to protect their own feelings is incredibly invalidating to you. If you feel safe addressing feelings like this with them, calling out that dynamic can be a powerful way to move forward. Your family may not get it right away, and that's okay. The important thing is that you're able to keep an open exchange going and show them all the joy your loves bring to your life. And now let us sing about what it is like to keep an open exchange going with family and friends as we sing together hymn number 170, We Are a Gentle, Angry People.
We are gentle, angry people. We are singing, singing for our life. We are gentle, angry people. We are singing, singing for our life. We are justice-seeking people. We are singing, singing for our life. We are young and simple people, and we are singing, singing for our life. We are young and old together. We are singing, singing for our life. We are young and old together. We are singing, singing for our life. We are a land of many colors. We are singing, singing for our life. We are a land of many colors. We are singing, singing for our life. and we are singing, singing for our life. We are binding friends together, and we are singing, singing for our life. We are gentle, loving people. We are singing, singing for our life. We are gentle, loving people. We are singing, singing for our
Our next reading comes from the book Universalism 101, God is Love by Richard Trudeau. The Universalist Declaration of Faith begins with an avowal of faith in God as love. What can this mean to a typical skeptical UU who is edgy about the term God? God is love? I like it. Whoever first said this was a genius. Notice that this ancient Christian saying doesn't seem to make sense. We are brought up to think of God as a person, and yet love is an abstract quality. How can a person be an abstract quality? Bingo. Part of the saying's message is that God isn't a person. God isn't the old man in the sky with the long white robe so many of us were brought up to believe in. No one has ever seen God, says the biblical passage. But if we love one another, God lives in us. God is love, and those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. Some modern theologians have suggested that the word God is best understood as a symbol for what is most important, a symbol for the mystery of existence. Modern theologians suggest that as the most basic level, God is a symbol people have developed to represent the answer to the perennial questions: what? The meaning of life. Why are we here? And what's it all about? From this point of view, God is love offers us an answer when our hearts ask, what's it all about? The old saying is advising us to focus on love. We humans are small, and this universe is very big. The experience of love may be the closest we can ever come to knowing what it's all about. Abraham Lincoln, though very reserved about expressing his own religious views, once quoted with apparent approval an old Baptist who, in Lincoln's youth, had proclaimed at a public meeting, "When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. That's my religion."
I like to consider myself an open book. Well, not just any book, more like an audiobook, because I'll be happy to tell you all about it. Well, way back in the early 1990s, I attended the University of Northern Iowa because it's purple, and because it was once the Iowa Teachers College and was all about teaching. My whole life, I wanted to be a teacher. When I graduated, my degree was in communication, theater arts, education, but I had a minor in women's studies and a minor in sexuality education. Yes, I'm an overachiever. So at the time, I didn't know how sexuality education was going to make a difference in my life and how it was going to come to play. But I did know that I wanted to be able to help make a difference in other people's lives and help other people to be educated about different forms of relationships. Back then, I was married to a man and I had a girlfriend who was engaged to another man. I was the first married president of the University of Northern Iowa Gay and Lesbian Organization, also known as Uniglow because we glowed. And because of my minor and my odd relationship status, I was close to the sexuality professor on campus. He asked me and some of the members of my organization to do panels for each of his classes, 3 or 4, sometimes even 6 panels each semester. And I did this for 3 years. The panels were to help out students learn about other relationships and learn about other forms of love. And after a couple of years of these panels, I decided that a minor in the topic was going to be very helpful. So each semester,
Yeah.
and then it went from my husband to my husband's partner, who was homosexual, who would then say, it stops here. So we were a very interesting group of people. And most of the time, I had to explain that we were not all in a relationship together, that each one was an individual relationship, that there was no mixing. So I would explain that I loved my husband and I loved my girlfriend, but I love them in different ways because there are different ways that you love everybody. And as a communications major, I like to emphasize that it took a lot of communication. Everyone involved in the relationship knew about one another. No one was lying. No one was cheating. No one was going against anyone else's will. And no one got hurt because there was always communication. Polyamory is about equity and compassion in relationships. It's about the inherent worth and dignity of everyone involved. It's about the acceptance of one another. And as human beings, we search for love all of our lives, as love makes us feel whole. It makes us feel connected. It makes us feel wanted. So why then does a society so open to love scorn those who label themselves as polyamorous? Polyamory means just what it says. It comes from the Latin word poly, meaning multiple, and amor, meaning love. It is the philosophy and practice of loving or relating intimately to more than one person at a time with honesty, integrity, and mutual consent. It is an intimate, romantic, affectionate bond which a person has with another person or group of people. This bond usually, though not always, involves sexual intimacy. It is a conscious and deliberate decision for everyone involved. They become a family structure. Yet controversy still follows, and many polyamorous people still feel isolated from communities, especially faith communities. But the Unitarian Universalist Association has made strides to change that. Back in 1999, several polyamorous individuals realized that roughly a quarter of the people they met at poly conferences identified as Unitarian Universalist. From there, these individuals created an independent organization called the Unitarian Universalists for Polyamory Awareness, or UUPA for short. The reason for its independent status from the UUA is because not all congregations are ready to open their doors to polyamorous families. The National Association explained that UU congregations strive to be safe and welcoming spaces for families of all kinds to come together to worship. However, UU congregations are independently organized and often vary quite a bit in their overall theological practices, style of worship, and demographic makeup. Which means, while there are individuals within the UUA that are welcoming, the group did not want to push all congregations to have the same level of openness. We do believe in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. So the UUA has, however, updated our association's non-discrimination statements to be more inclusive. In 2014, the statement was amended to include family and relationship structures, as well as including gender expression and gender identity as protected statuses. And currently, the UUA officially includes polyamorous in their membership guidelines, showing that the poly individuals are acknowledged. In fact, the Unitarian Universalists for Polyamory Awareness is now considered a related organization to the UUA. It is still independently organized and managed, but it's getting a little closer to inclusion. In fact, the group even had its own acknowledgement in the 2021 General Assembly this year. I was very excited by that. It's a step closer. But the UUPA will continue to work for the day when any polyamorous family or individual can walk into any Unitarian Universalist congregation with confidence that their full participation is welcome. So why is it important to us? Because we already have polyamorous people within our membership here at People's Church. Danny and I are among this group, along with some individuals who are open and some who are still in the closet. We have served on church committees and taught faith formation classes. We attend denominational assemblies where many of us have served in a variety of roles in the service of our faith. We have families and raised children that have been in faith formation classes. We want our children and our families to be accepted as any other family in People's Church. Our church community is ready and open to expanding and growing our membership. As that happens, we need to be aware there will be visitors to our church who may be polyamorous, just as they may be transgender or a different color or of a different socioeconomical status. We need to be mindful and work towards educating our community about all types of families, as well as all types of people. Unitarian Universalists are drawn together by the shared need to discover our own truth rather than accepting any existing dogma. We come together to share our beliefs, but primarily we come together to share our questions. We have Christians, atheists, pagans, and humanists that all come together to attend a church with recent roots in the Abrahamic religions. How strange is that? And yet, we all exist in love with one another. We come together to build community and to nurture individual growth. We may not all agree with one another, but we respect one another and we learn from one another. Remember those panels that I told you about earlier that I used to be part of in college? Well, a Facebook friend of mine recommended to her sister to contact me regarding my religion and spiritual beliefs. Her sister is Christian, but interested in spiritual practices of paganism and Unitarian Universalism. So I agreed to meet her last weekend in Iowa City to have coffee and talk for a bit. We met, we had a great conversation. And in my background speech, I mentioned that I went to the University of Northern Iowa. She had also attended that university, and we discovered we were there at about the same time. Moments later, a spark of recognition flashed in her eyes, and she said, "You were the one on the sex panels." Yeah, I was the one on the sex panels. I confirmed. She then explained that she was 18 and from a small Iowa town just starting college. She remembered this panel where I explained polyamory and that I was a bisexual lesbian. She had never heard of bisexuality in her life before that. I had fascinated her at the time, and she mentioned that I was just as animated back then as I am now. So she said that seeing me back then, 18, fresh out of high school, I taught her different types of relationships, and I taught her different ways to love. It made me feel really good to know that I helped to open her eyes and open her heart, even if it was just a little. I hope the information that I've shared with you today has the same effect on you. Each Sunday, we say the words, "Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another." Let us always remember to enter into our sacred space together with loving hearts, to follow our affirmation, and to keep our minds open to continue to learn. Blessed be, and amen. I'm in her way. Thank you.
At this time, we take up our offering to support the ministry of People's Church. There are many ways of giving. You can send a check in the mail to People's Church at the address on your screen. You can give online from your laptop or desktop at www.peoplesuu.org and go to the Donate Now tab. Or you can replace your Give Plus app with the Vanco, VANCO, mobile app on your smartphone. Go to the App Store or Google Play and search for Vanco Mobile. Once you download the app, simply search for People's Church Unitarian Universalist and donate from there. Keep in mind, you will not be able to make gifts to People's Church using the Give Plus app after September 30th, 2021. So be sure to change out that app with the Vanco mobile app. We thank you for your donations in support of our church and community.
So peppy. Okay. And from that, I would like to invite us now into a time of prayer and meditation. Take a moment. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Mother, Father, universe, that which is greater than ourselves. We thank you for all the blessings you have given us. You are with us when we go through hard times, when we are in the dark. You comfort us and keep us. You are also with us when we go through good times, when light shines upon us. You celebrate in our joys with us. Divine Spirit, help us to see eye to eye. Help us to learn from one another. Give us the strength and give us the opportunity to find love in our community. Blessed be, and amen. If you have a candle within reach at home, I invite you to light it with whatever intention is on your heart at this time. Emily and I will be lighting 3 candles here in the sanctuary, one representing the joys, sorrows, and intentions of all of you at home, one representing the intentions of those of us that are here in the sanctuary, and one representing all of those impacted by COVID-19.
We will take one more step till there is peace for us, and everyone will take one more step. One more word. We will say one more word till every word is heard by everyone. Will say one more word, one more prayer. We will say one more prayer till every prayer is shared by everyone. Will say one more prayer. We will sing one more song till every song is sung by everyone.
Please read with me as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this chalice flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
In the beginning, we called to the elements to be with us in our sacred circle, to help us and be with us this morning. As we open the circle, we release the elements and return this space to its daily energies. We start by turning our focus to the north, to the element of earth. We thank you for being with us this morning. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Turning next to the west and the element of water. We thank you for being with us this morning. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
We turn now to the south and the element of fire. We thank you for being with us this morning. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
We turn now to the east and the element of air. We thank you for being with us this morning. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Lastly, to the center and the element of spirit, that which connects all things to the divine universe, to Mother Earth and Father Sky, to sun and moon and our sibling stars. We thank you for being with us this morning. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
The circle is open yet unbroken. Let us listen once more to the music of Mike and Carlos.
Thanks for having us, everybody. We're glad to be here. You're stuck with us next week too. And we'll do a fine job, at least as fine, probably a better job next week on the hymns, but we had a good time and we're sure glad to be here. The first song that we did today was called The Water is Wide. It's an old Shaker meditation song. Second thing that we did was a piece called St. Patrick's Day in the morning, as John O'Connell would say. And this last piece is being as we are in fall. We're going to do autumn leaves, a little bit autumn leaves for you. Falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hand I used to hold. Since you went away, oh, the days grow long. Soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to fall. Carlos Ferraro. The falling leaves drift by my window, the autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, summer kisses, the sunburned hand I used to know. Since you went away, the days grow long. Soon I'll hear old winter's song. But I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn leaves start to fall.
That was awesome. Very nice. Very nice. If here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, help one another that they may make those dreams come true. If you have known love, give some back to a bruised and hurting world. Go in peace, live justly. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. Blessed be.